my real interest or passion has always been for radio, and I wanted to do something with sports teams and radio, and that's kind of where this idea stemmed from.
Now we're joined by Ole Miss head coach Hugh Freeze. Hugh, how you doing, man?
Doing great, guys. How are you?
Doing any type of 24-hour radio channel takes a lot of money and a lot of legwork and that sort of thing. So I spent about 6 or 7 years kind of researching and learning all the necessary things that we felt like we needed to implement.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
The idea is just specifically team-specific radio, information, entertainment, all sorts of programming, and the fact that we're internet radio, we didn't necessarily want to be like traditional radio. Traditional radio, you have your kind of standard model for sports radio hosts and things like that, or content and things like that. We wanted to be kind of different, and we wanted to be really innovative, and we have to be because we are 24 hours of one team or whatever.
Enough of our yakking. Let's jump into the interview with our very own Bob Karskadin as he talks with the man, Fred Smoot.
I'm doing good, man. And thanks for having me on, man. Bulldog forever.
We actually focus on mobile apps. So we have an iPhone app and an Android app for 2 channels that we run. We have a Mississippi State channel called Bulldog Sports Radio, and we have an Ole Miss channel called Rebel Sports Radio. And we really focus on mobile apps. We have an iPhone app and an Android app. The reason we focus on mobile apps is because if you think about radio listening, a majority of radio listening is done while you're in the car. And thanks to the invention of these things, the smartphones, or smartphones in general, people can actually take internet radio in their car and listen to it. So that's what we focused on. And in fact, when we launched, we didn't even have a stream or broadcast on our website because I was just so adamant. I was like, we've got to focus on mobile. Everything's going to mobile. Let's not even invest our time on a traditional website or anything like that.
This is Michael Orth, and you're listening to Rebel Sports Radio.
We have the Listen Live stream, which it clicks in. One thing is we have this pause button.
We'll probably come back.
So, for example, if you're listening in the car, say you're listening to traditional radio and there's a really good interview on or something like that, and you drive up to work and you got to be at work in 5 minutes, something like that. Well, you can't sit out in your car and listen to it, and you can't take it with you. That's kind of a drag, So with this app, or Vsporto app, so what we can do, you're listening to that interview, you can pause it and take it into your office, whatever, put your headset in, and immediately pick right back up where you left off, which I think is kind of a cool thing. And if you miss the interview and you want to come back later, you can just click the on-demand section and scroll through and, just select any broadcast that you are looking at.
This is Anthony Dixon, and I'm grinding with Bulldog Sports Radio.